Okay, let's see if this audio is working okay first, and then we'll start reviewing what the new chapter. Let's see, test with this over here. Let's see if I'm actually live. Close this up now. Got my kitty cat here. Let's see. Check. Uh, ooh, my sibling. Come on, we can't share this together. Sit with me. There you go. Ooh, you gonna crawl up there? That's better. Hold on. You want to sit here or there? Come on. There's not a lot of space here. Pick a spot. Why don't you lay over this way? Of course you gotta lay that way, don't you? You're still a cat. I need these. I need that keyboard there. Then I need my notes. My phone here. Controller. Turn this mouse off. Wait, is this showing? It's not showing. Oh, it didn't broadcast that. How do I start Twitch one? Start all. There we go. I think I'm trying to multi-stream tonight. Let's see if this works. Oh, good. There it is. Nice. Let's see. I wonder how this is affecting my network. I got two. No network. 1%. Okay. Hi, Welder. How's your eye? Is it feeling better? Don't worry. We'll go to the vet in a couple days. Looks good. How do I hear myself? Let's start with this one. No. Stop rubbing your face and everything. I think the audio is still breaking out. No, sit. Sit. Mm. Sit. You're knocking everything over. Hold on. What's going on with this audio? Yes, you're cute. That's still funky. Hello? Yeah, something's wrong. I did this last time. Oh, that really caught. No, wait, now it sounds okay. How's the sound on this end? How's the sound over here, Twitch? Oh. Is that working? Just listen over there. Eeny, meeny, miny, moe. Oda's the best author. All right, that sounds pretty good. Let's go forward with this then. I'll keep checking. Okay, I'll check with this later. Keep going forward with this. Let's get the tablet. All right, guys. This is One Piece chapter. Where are we at? 1084. Yep, I put it up in front of me. And holy shit, Oda, you know how to. Oh, I don't know. I don't. Let's just start with the. So spoilers ahead. Um, let me pull up the other chapters here. Shoot, I should be downloading these. So this chapter now continues from the last one with this Reverie flashback. We see additional stuff that Oda has held off. So Reverie happened between. Um, he did it between Whole Cake and Wano. So it was almost 200 chapters ago, I think. No, Wilder. No. You cannot rub your face on everything, sweetie. Sit. You sit there. There you go. It was like 880, no, 880 in the anime, so 200 episode, almost 200 episodes, 180 episodes ago maybe, and a little bit less than that in chapters, I think. Wow, that's interesting how that lined up. Nice. So in Reverie, we saw a lot of uh, the Straw Hats allies meet each other. We had the let's see, the Vivi and King Cobra and King Riku and Rebecca and the Tontara. What was that guy? There was other ones that helped the part of Luffy's. They're essentially part of Luffy's fleet now, right? The God, I can't think of their names. I'll have to pull them up. So they're together, and that's where we saw Cipher Pole Zero, and we saw Shirahoshi was there and Garp, and so in this last chapter though, pull it up here. Sabo is recounting events from his side, his viewpoint, and we're gonna get some additional stuff. We had some additional stuff, and we get more today in this Raw chapter. And I should clarify, this is not the official chapter, of course. The pull it up here. So Sabo in the last chapter, and this continuation of today is about the which Sabo and the other captains, except for Betty, that went to Reverie, and they got Kuma back, and they officially declared war with the Celestial Dragons, and they attacked some stuff. They destroyed food reserves, and there was a cool battle with the captains holding off Fujitora and Green Bull quite well, I might add. It was Green Bull fighting, I think his name was Morley, or her name. It's because of her pronouns, right? Yeah, whatever. That's what they want to be called. I don't care. How's this sound? I'm gonna check one more thing too. Is my mic too close? Sorry. Okay, yeah. So Morley and Food Green Bowl were going head to head. That was the best part of the chapter for me, was seeing Green Bowl, who we the Red Scabbards and Momonosuke could barely fight. He was going quite well, holding his own there, and oh, that's right. I gotta rename that stream over here. Hold up a second. Yes. I did like a half hour of prep for this live stream, and I still forgot about that title for Twitch. So, Salvo recounted to what happened there with their mission. So we saw the flashback. We see the stuff I just mentioned, the fight with Green Bull and Morley. Oh yeah, Lindbergh. I didn't elaborate properly, but Lindbergh was helping out too there by he was freeing slaves and leading them to the I think it was like the east end of the city they're in, the Celestial's home there, Dragon's home, and Celestial Dragon's home. And oh god, I just realized something too. Holy shit. Is that what's still going on? Remember how so Dragon, Luffy's son, father is leading the revolutionaries. And there's a theory I've heard people talk about where they think Luffy's mother could be a Celestial Dragon. What if that's why Dragon's using that name? What if that name is like a moniker, or a nickname to 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 say he's a dragon, but he's not a celestial dragon. It sounds. I wonder if there's something there. I'll have to come back to that sometime. But so anyways, yeah, we see the flashback. Let's see what else was last in the flashback. So the last thing with the flashback, yeah, Sabo was while the others were holding off the admirals and doing the other freeing the slaves. The Sabo's in the castle, and he's there with he's looking for keys. That's right. He was looking for the keys. And then also we saw that stupid Saint Charles and his dad were still looking for Shirahoshi. So yeah, that's not good. We see Shirahoshi. There was also this mystery where Shirahoshi's talking to someone very small. She's like holding up her hand, and see if I can see it. Yeah, and because of that, because she's talking. We don't know. It was so small. We can't see who she's talking to. So there's a mystery there as well. Oh, excuse me. Can I mute this a sec? I gotta clear my throat. I also made some tea there. I want to pour some. So, yeah. And then we also saw Bonnie briefly in this chapter, the last chapter, for one panel. And the last thing that ended that's important to what we see today in today's chapter 2 is King Cobra was about to have an audience with the Gorosei, and he's there with his unfortunately he goes in by himself. He can't take Pell and I forgot his name again. The other bodyguard that was his main bodyguard from Alabasta. They were there. They escorted him up to the Gorosei's meeting room, and then he can't. They leave him there. And yeah, this is where the chapter kind of I think starts. Let's go. So now, yeah, so it's really interesting how too. By the way, how Oda decided to hold off some of this stuff. He showed us the encounters of Luffy's allies, the Straw Hats allies, and meeting each other. Kobe, so much happened there already when we saw that reverie last, and but how do I say this? It's great that he had other stuff to show us. So this chapter does not even have has a different cover story. Not cover story. It doesn't do a cover story. It does. There's a full color panel there, just to mention, with like some of the actually no. Oh, it's kind of a fan. It's kind of fan servicey. Oda has drawn this color page with almost every main female character he's introduced in the story. I see Perona, Carrot, Robin, Nami. Is that Rebecca? Yeah, Rebecca, Captain, what's her name? Can't think of her name now. And Shirahoshi, and they even have Sanji's sister, and that one of the Toby Roppo one, the one with the mask and the horns there. And oh wait, who's back there? Oh, I think that's Bonnie as well. Mm-hmm. So wait, I'll open the window. It's so hot here. Get a good air in here. See, put this back. So the chapter begins with Sabo taking out a couple guards in the castle, and here that happened, and oh, this is the first start of how great this is. Bonnie meets him here, and they start working together. And she reveals that she's been studying them, the Revolutionary Army, and she figured she could trust them. So yeah, they're running together. I don't know if they're running together. Were they running together to meet Kuma? I gotta skim ahead a little bit. Hold on. No. So they run together to, let's see, what was it again? Uh, and then so he's got the keys at this point for the slaves, so they can, because they gotta get rid of those collars that are on them that explode like Luffy's worn. And actually, how did I wonder how Kaido procured those those uh collars that's similar to the ones that were at the slave. Oh, of course, Doflamingo probably sold them to him. I bet, right? So, uh, Doflamingo must have sold those because he was in charge of that slave house, and he had those collars there that we saw. Rayleigh, what did he do? He he freed it. He took it off. The other mermaid girl. Actually, she wasn't in that picture. She was like the only one they didn't show in there, did they? Wait, who else was in there? Oh wait, they even had the one. They even have that girl. Oh, there's a little Totata princess there, and oh, Koala's even there. God, it's like you gotta look to see how many are in there. And there's that one who could turn people into toys. So shoot, where was I? Lost my train of thought. Uh, right. The advanced armored hockey. Rayleigh showed off the advanced armored hockey, even though they didn't really show it the way they do now since Wano, and he took it off the other Cammy. Cammy's her name, the other mermaid, and he's got the keys here now, and then we see that the crow guy. Oh, I should pull up some names here. I am bad at these names. Some of these. Uh, Luckily, I looked this up the other day, so when I did my chapter review last week. Let's pull up some of these tabs and get this ready. So next, Karasu, one of Karasu's crows comes and reports to Sabo, and so the mission is complete here, and he gives the keys, I think, to yeah, he gets the keys to Karasu so he can hand them off to Lindbergh, who's helping lead the slaves out of there. And now, what does Sabo do next here? What was his next purpose here? Was he still trying to get Kuma? I'm not sure what Sabo was trying to do here, actually. Did they ever reveal? So Sabo talks to Bonnie after this, and he's like, "What's going to happen next with you?" And this is where she tells Sabo that she's heading to Egghead. So she must have left right from here to go to Egghead to get to talk to Vegapunk. So actually, that's interesting too because this when we started this chapter, the last chapter, we saw how many weeks back this was. I think it was something like 6 weeks. Let me look. Uh, check. Wait, the flashback. Start? Over a month ago, so maybe 5 weeks when this was happening. So, because someone was pointing out, I think when I was watching a teching review, he pointed out how she's at the Grand Line or the Red Line here, and she had to go all the way to Vegapunk is pretty far down in the New World. I wonder if she had to like just stow away a lot to get because wait, did she have her ship and crew? We never figured that out, did we? Let me just do something here. Because she was captured once by Blackbeard, and we never saw how she escaped. That is a mystery that Oda has not solved with us either. I think, right? She got captured right after Marineford, and but somehow escaped. Now we've seen her the first time we've seen her since then is at Reverie, if I recall correctly. Hold on here, I'll just pull this tab over. Okay. No, let me do that then. Stop it. There we go. And go back here. Nope, nope. Go forward. Man, I'm really all over the place. So we have a cute moment here uh, when they're running together. Sabo and Vani, the guards are coming, and he must have heard them. Yeah, there they are. They say he jumps up into the across archway or whatever. Oh. He jumps up there and he's holding Bonnie in his arms. Well, and like, man, that was a pretty good move there. That just hopefully Walla never finds out about this because you know she'll try to beat the snot out of Sabo. So they avoid the detection of these guards, even though they briefly saw them. And they say something interesting here. So they talk about they talk about the Phantom Room, which I'm wondering if that refers to where that little garden area where wait, something here said weird. They talk about this Phantom Room, a legendary Phantom Room, and how they can blame something on like seeing these Sabo and Bonnie there, I think, and the other person says don't talk about that. So they're very upset, and I was wondering if that had something to do with a room that Eames stays in. All right, kitty. I'm about to go more on that later. Oh, so then we end the scene with Sabo and Bonnie out in the forest, and they're splitting up now because he's the island where they're staying. I forget the name of it again. That Ivankov is on is back in paradise. So they split up there. They say they're gonna part ways, and Bonnie and him they part ways with like saying, with Bonnie saying like, yeah, please look after my dad. She's not gonna be happy when she finds too happy, I guess, if they finds out he escaped. But there was nothing they could really do. Hmm. So now we get to the good part. This is where it really gets good in this chapter. The we get to see this beginning of the scene between I pull this back a little, shouldn't I? Between among with the Gorosei and Cobra. Um, and Cobra starts over. So Cobra here, he comes in and he starts bringing up how because he's technically a celestial dragon. He just never went up there. You know, his family has stayed as the only one we found out. I think was that at Reverie we found that out at this part. I mean, in the last Reverie part before Wano, that he was the only family, the Nefertiris, that stayed and went back to Alabasta. And he elaborates a little bit on this here too. It's interesting. He points out about how that happened, and he points out again. Brings up again about the throne and how they installed the 20 kings and queens of the at the end of the Void Century, put the throne there, and it was a symbol that they would not they would have share power. So actually, that brings up a good question too. Why did the when did the Gorosei get formed? How many generations of the I wonder how many directions, yeah, of the celestial dragons did they go before they started becoming so like they are now? They're so you know lazy, and they don't actually rule. They're entitled to the 10th degree. That reminds me a little bit of if you study histories with like these empires, a lot of them a lot of them like in only a couple generations they like some of the leaders become degenerates basically like oh, what's his name, Tiberius. He's tech like the second emperor, like maybe almost the first official emperor of Rome after Augustus, his stepfather, and he just lost it at the end. He was just crazy. He was on some pleasure island he had doing some weird stuff. And if you look at the Persians too, they're uh, the Persians after a few generations after Darius the Great, who's like technically the third, fourth king of Persia. From Xerxes on, there's like a idea. The Xerxes, some people are still questioning whether some of that is even true, though. That they were very, he drank too much and he just hung out with harems in the harem area and stuff. And other kings, there were like a lot of wars. The kings fighting each other and stuff. So I guess they weren't perhaps as degenerate, but it was said that Persians themselves had just become very similar to the celestial dragons, and that they had lots of meals and they spent all the time doing stuff like that. They were losing their toughness because they were really tough in the beginning. They took over all these other Middle Eastern kingdoms like the Babylonians and stuff, etc. So, anyways, The Celestial Dragons remind me of that, and I bet this is why the Gorosei were formed. And somebody had to keep going about keeping the empire they essentially created of the world, the 170 plus countries. So this is like the world empire, a true world empire, that where they really there's that saying about when the British had an empire, the sun never sets. This is like that, like, extreme. Like, we don't even know this. I'm guessing. My guess is there's probably like less than 10 nations that are not part of the world government, like Wano, and there were some other ones. There was that one. I wonder if that one. That I wonder if the nation that Kaido came from is still part of it. Or were they able to pay the heavenly tribute? Because didn't they gave Kaido to the Marines in order to like get in admission into the world government? I think they did. Something like that happened. So so yeah. So he goes over all this stuff, and they're equal. And then this is part two. He points out though they at the time they picked new families to rule. Here a little bit. Picky like that. To rule these other nations on the that they left from. So we saw this, for example, with Dressrosa, with Doflamingo's family ruled it. His ancestor was part of the part of this the ones that defeated the ancient kingdom and went up to Reverie. They stayed up there until his father, they came down. Hold on. Luminos. So then we saw that his Rebecca's family, what's it, the Riku? Is that his first name or their last name? Her family became the were handpicked here. It says to become the new rulers of Dressrosa and Alabasta. Well, in Alabasta's case, this is what the story's getting into. That didn't happen. This is something interesting too. So he brings up after those new kings are picked, like Rebecca's family, information about the previous dynasties, like Doflamingo's, were removed from their history and their and now we get a name drop. We find out this monarch, it's a queen who was the one who's his ancestor, Cobra's ancestor, who was the one who went back, or so they think. This is where it gets interesting. Her name is Queen Lily, Lili, and she, according to the story, she's the one. According to the history, she's the one that did not stay up there as a celestial dragon. She was going to go back to Alabasta and continue her reign. And so now he points out, because of that, there was I forgot to mention, there are these swords. I forgot that these swords are kind of like instead of like this is interesting because this reminds me a bit of Game of Thrones. I think in there the throne is made is made up of swords of the enemies that where's Daenerys' ancestor's name? Whatever her ancestor, I think those swords were melted from all kinds of enemies he defeated by a dragon, whatever dragon he had then. And this, instead of these swords here, were placed there by each of the 20, or in this case 19 sovereigns that vowed they would rule this empire. And they would stay up there as celestial dragons. And so I forgot that. That's very interesting too. That's part of their oath. They left a weapon there, each signifying their place as part of joint rulers. So this is where there's a little bit dumb here as well. So he ends his story there, and the Gorosei are like, okay, what's your point? What do you want us here for? So her name apparently is not in. He says her name isn't mentioned once in their histories. Meaning, so like what other things she did in her reign. So apparently, what he's saying here is she never made it home to Alabasta. She didn't. Okay, that's how. Okay, I was gonna ask if she didn't. If she didn't rule, how did who? What ancestor? So that's right. So her brother, Lily's brother, must be Cobra's actual direct ancestor. Is the one that took over. So first he does this. He does this. He asks them, "What do you guys? Do you guys know anything? Can you help me clear the air on this mystery I've come across with the disappearance of my ancestor who was supposed to come back and rule Alabasta?" So what's going on? The one with the St. James, yeah, he's the one we got name dropped. St. James steps in and starts talking. Oh, and wait a minute, and he's starting to tell him, yeah, the we know about the same thing you do. The Nefertaris did not move here. We believed it was believed she returned to her country, but we just don't know anything else either. And while this is happening, when he's talking, so this whole conversation is being broadcasted into Eames' little garden area. He's there with the butterflies, and oh, this is where it gets interesting too. So he switches. Cobra's suspicious of them. He does not believe what they that they're that they he does not really are telling him the truth, and he switches up the questions and asks him what is the meaning of the D clan or the letter D, and this really gets their attention. By the way, we get actually no, they're not in the room of authority here. They're in. I forgot to mention. It's very important. This setup here is this. They're in front of the throne. They're at the bottom of the staircase where the throne is. Eames' throne. Wait, what's going on? Uh, what's going on? Come on. Why are you failing? I shouldn't be failing. How's it looking over there? YouTube's apparently having a problem with my stream. I don't know what to do about that, bud. I think I'm recording this. I'll upload this afterward as a separate video if you guys are having problems. So what happens next? He points out that even though he says that there is a letter that he has that's been passed down, has some information, and it doesn't. He doesn't. We don't get to elaborate in this bit here, and it cuts off there, and we jump to the next scene. And so apparently the Queen Lily knew something about the Will of D here, and this is probably where I'm thinking Cobra's signing his death warrant, but we'll get to that in a minute. Because now we jump to. Oh, I gotta pull up another tab too. Cause I know I'm gonna need this. Oh, what's their names? Luffy's. Come on, you. So now we jump over to where the friggin' that dopey ass celestial dragon. What's his name again? He's got Kuma with him now, right? Where they want, yeah, because his father was riding Kuma. This is right before Kuma's captured too. Oh, where's their names? Sai. So, so the friggin' this what's his name has Kuma with them, and they've chained up poor Shirahoshi here. Wait, I should switch this over this way. This is a full page panel. Actually, what am I thinking? I should have this up on there. Dumbass. Hold on a second. Give me the scans. Come on. Oh, by the way, the chapter's called The Attempted Murder of a Celestial Dragon. I forgot to bring that up in the beginning. Hold on, let me go down here a second. Come on. There we go. There we go. This is much better on this panel. No, come on. Oh, wait, I know what to do. This will work better. Full screen. So yeah, Kuma's there, and he's got Shirahoshi chained up. Uh, so this is must be the. It looks like it's in the same spot. So he just brought back reinforcements this time instead of. So yeah, last time he had that other slave who was dressed up in a something over his head, a bag. Now he's brought back Kuma with him. He's got his father there as well. Charles, yeah. And he's got there. Yeah, it looks like they're in that same open area where all the kings and queens are. Um, uh, we're all talking and probably having a little finger food and all that stuff. And the other kings and queens, she's begging for someone to help her there. And it looks like at this point, her friends, Rebecca and everyone, are gone. They must have walked away for a little bit, thinking everything was okay. And it's stupid. Oh my god, you really did. Oda does a good job drawing Charlos in this spot too. And just sickening looking though. And he's all talking about, oh, I wonder how. What do I feed a mermaid? I'm gonna ride you all the time. She's planning on using her like they do a Kuma, and he's like threatening too. Like if you don't listen, I'll make sure you know what pain is. He basically says. Oh yeah, and then they elaborate here. Yeah, she's gone. The others, yeah. One of these other people mentioned how her father, Neptune, is it? Is his name Neptune in here? And the others are gone, and that's why they didn't see anything happen. And then they just run away. These freaking coward kings just leave, especially because like one of them even says like, "Oh, it doesn't matter. We got no vested interest in this because she wasn't gonna marry any of us." So I'm thinking, well, okay, so if you proposed to her and she had accepted, would you have tried to help her a little bit then? Uh, One other thing. Let me get her up. What's her parents' names? Neptune family. Yeah, Neptune. Uh, let's get their names in a second. Oh yeah. So luckily though, someone must have either because of the noise. I'm guessing her big brother, the big buff one, Fukaboshi, shows up and is ready to fight back here, and he's there. He's like ready to free her, and he's like, we're gonna get you out of here and get the hell out of this place. This place is rotten." Actually, that's very appropriate because he realized he didn't fully know, but when they were transporting, coming over on that conveyor belt, escalator, whatever thing, he recognized or felt that there was something wrong. We saw the slaves there, so yeah, he wants to get the hell out of here. Especially now this is twice in a row they tried. Charlos is here. Uh, so friggin' Charlos though, he figured this was gonna happen, and he orders. That's right. The other brothers are there too in the next panel. He orders Kuma to take them out. So Kuma fires one of his laser beams at them, and blows them away from him. And oh, it looks like a bunch of other those kings were taken out too. So this doesn't deter her brothers though. The Fukaboshi is like, sad to see how you are, that you're like this, Kuma, but we're not gonna fight back down basically. And he rallies with his brothers to get them together. Uh, and and then Charlos apparently doesn't. You can tell Charlos doesn't care. He yells at Kuma to get them and just kill them anyways, because I don't care if they're royalty. They're just fishmen. And now this is where then Rebecca and Sai from what's his name from what's he from, what's that kingdom again? Him and his grandfather, the one that Luffy fought. Hold on up a second. Chinjiao. Okay. The Habo Navy, right. Him and Rebecca and I think Leo's there, and there's some other Tontados all show up, seeing what's happening. And Sai goes up. Sai talks to that other Celestial Dragon that knocked out Charlos before. He comes out with Sai, and Sai asks him permission to stop them. And Sai and what's that guy's name? Mosgard. He like yeah, do it. He apparently my hitting him didn't work, but I'll give you permission and I'll take responsibility. Which I was glad he's there. We need one of them. So I'm worried if this situation had escalated if that his word might not be enough if like the uh if the Gorosei stepped in on this matter in some judicial respect, or maybe those royal guards would. I wonder if they would still want to punish somebody else for trying to attacking one of the other celestial dragons, as we're about to see here. I should mute this. Hold on. So, where's the next bit? So what happens next here? I have to go back to this screen. It looks closer. Man. What are you doing, kitty? So, so Mjolnir apparently, so Sai's about to jump in and help the other Neptune sons, but Mjolnir actually steps up and says, stops Fukuboshi from and the others from stepping in, and he's gonna because he's a royal. He says you must show restraint, and oh, so but Mjolnir reasons with him and says let Sai do this now because I guess yeah Sai is I guess Sai's cut ties with his country. He's technically a pirate now, and Mjolnir says let them don't do this because you'll just get your Fishman Island in trouble as well if you attack a celestial dragon. So yeah, they're pirates. So freaking who's there? So yeah, Leo. So Leo and Sai step up and they're both doing. They perform a combo attack on friggin' Sharlos. This is awesome. This is the best. One of the best things that we've seen Sharlos do this since Luffy punched him. Really, it was great when Mjolnir did it too a while back in the same time period here. But back we saw hundreds of chapters ago. They get up there, and he pulls out one of his secret arts, and him and Leo come down together. He does a kick attack, and Leo does something called Tail Hammer, and his is called Drill Dragon Nail, and they both smash together. Charles, he flattens like a pancake into the ground. Actually, he looks like he's spinning too, because decided to do something that's like a drill. Also, while this is happening, there's some other passerby still there, and they're like, "Don't do it! You're just celestial dragon." Oh, this is great. And oh wait a minute, I gotta pull this up here. A big panel scene again. So all these other kings and queens basically start freaking out, like, "Oh my god, Charles is down. We're doomed." And we gotta get out of here because the admirals will surely show up any moment now. And the Kuma next part here is Kuma prepares a counterattack and attack Sai and Leo. Oh wait, my cat wants to do that. So right as Kuma's about to attack them, Marley shows up out of the ground, or Morley, I should say, and she grabs Kuma and pulls her into the ground, I think. And yeah, he grabs him, and he says like, "Oh, stop picking on Kuma." But clearly Kuma was fine here, and he talks to he's starting to Kuma and saying, "Don't listen to the orders. Let's go home." And then next, the people start freaking out, of course, because they uh, see a giant there. So as that they're freaking out, and then as that happens, Kurosu has a messenger crow come over. Pinky, coming in, push it. Come on. These kids. Come on. Come on. The door jar, please. Kurosu has a crow there, and it tells Morley that it got the keys. And then some other people start realizing that this is the Revolutionary Army's here. So this must have been like one of the first incidents they did. They got there. No, wait, no. They already did this and all this stuff. Duh. So wait, if this is happening right now, I wonder if the explosion we saw in the last chapter is already happening. It must have been, right? Probably about the same time. And I'm just wondering if these kings and queens aren't aware that that other stuff's happening in the other part of the city with the explosions and the admirals already being there. Oh crap! He's gonna knock that down. So, actually, I noticed they do a nice full pull-out shot here, and you can see that Morley's there, right? He pulled up right in front of Shirahoshi, where Shirahoshi was chained up, and grabbed Kuma. So, the scene ends here with Kurosu and Morley escaping underground with Morley's power with Kuma in tow to escape. And the last scene too is just what's that guy's name? Charlotte's father looking at his son, who's all flattened out looking still. What's his name? Oh, that was Roswald. Roswald? Something like that. I think someone said Walls. So, and the scene also ends with just Sai and Shirahoshi in surprise at seeing what just transpired with a giant stealing Kuma and disappearing underground. So now we get to the last scene of the chapter. This is good. Yeah, I was not ready for this. Boy, I want to have a lot to talk about in this. I know everyone else is going to. We resume back to a very short scene here with Cobra and the Gorosei, and Eam is shown up. She's coming up him? Oh, good. Up the stairs, on the side stairs that we saw her use before, when the Gorosei bowed to him, or her, or whatever, earlier, and the Gorosei are surprised. They probably didn't realize that Eam was listening, and they're like, "Eam, what are you doing? Cobra's still here." And Eam looks at Cobra, and Cobra's freaking out, like, "Oh my, what the? Someone's on the throne?" And Eam just looks at Cobra, says one word, "Lily," and then sits down on a throne. End. Break next week. Oh. Let's let this sit in a minute. This is probably Lily, the queen of the world. I don't think she went back to Alabasta. She didn't say why. She was secretly she went back to Alabasta, Rizwa, and took over. Or maybe she already was the strongest. Why does she have a story though? If that's right, why did she fake her that she was gonna go back to Alabasta? Wait, let's also check this a minute. Yeah, that's good. Okay. She just almost looks like in this themed scene now too. I don't know if Oda did this purposely, but you got Eam still, and she's still in a silhouette. I'm gonna assume it's a she now. I'm assuming it's she. So some people are saying that already. And what were some of the clues people were using? Was it the way she walked or her feet? That Eam was a woman a while back, and I think those people are right. what I want to point out is in the silhouette on the throne, she's got a crown, uh, the really tall crown, and then after that, it looks like I'm thinking that's her hair. That's what's also making me feel like it's a woman. And then the way the gown thing, she's wearing something that's like a dress. It's very wide over where her legs are. I don't know. I'm just feeling like this is a woman now. Oh my gosh, she's gonna. So this is why Cobra was probably killed too, right? Did the girl? Well, that's Eam did it herself. So this also must be where Salvo's about to walk in on this, and he sees. I wonder if he sees Cobra. Does he see Cobra get held? I wonder, or if he's just there right after it happens, but and Eam's still there because we know he saw Eam. That's when he was broadcasting to the dragon, Lelucia, before the weapon took out the island. But he was already flown away, actually, so good there. Oh wait, there's something about different names. What are you doing, kitty? Come on. You wanna sit here? So guys, oh shit, the chapter was good. We just got some more lore. We got to see Charlos get taken out again 3 times and twice in the same day. Sit, Pinky. Don't mess with the camera, please. And we might know who the Queen of the World is. Oh, this is gonna bug me if I don't do this. Can't stand it. So, a lot to go over here. But I'm gonna sit on this a little bit and go back to Zelda later. Holy shit. Hi, Pinky. My cat wants to go out. You gonna purr for the camera? Can I point this down? Here he is. Who's our good boy? Pinky's our good boy. Shoot. Yeah, also going back here, you can tell when when Cobra brought up the question about the will of D or the D clan, the look on the look on the faces of the girls, especially the one that looks like I'm gonna borrow Tekking's nicknames, um, Samurai Gandhi, and when he calls Sabo no Sanji's uncle, they look especially menacing when he brought up that question. And then the one that looks like the Russian prime minister, he just looks really surprised. And then the other two, James, is that guy's name? Saint Jay. Jay looks very like, oh shit, this is not going to go well. And then the last guy too kind of looks similar to that. Oh shit. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. What's that? Oh, my cup I left on the floor. By the way, I'm very impressed too how big really the friggin' Shirahoshi is. She's when we see the scene where Kuma had just tied her up, she's still towering over him just from her rear end part up. She's sitting up there and she's twice as high as Kuma is. So just think about that. I forgot that I was rewatching Kuma's fight with Zoro earlier, and you can see how bigger Zoro's probably about average height, looking I don't know 5'10" I'm gonna guess something like that, and maybe 6 foot, and Kuma just towered over him, and now we got Shirahoshi, and this is like just the height of her abdomen up, or her no her buttocks area up, and she's towering over him. Like Kuma just be rarely just his head just reaches her bosom. Oh my goodness. I kind of wanted to see her brother take out that guy though, but it was better what Myojar did, having Sai and Leo step in. Pinky, is your eye? You got scratched good by another kitty. Hey, there you go. Smile for the camera. I'm streaming, yeah. I had to do a little stream for One Piece, you know? Look at that little boy. Good God. That's still working? Good. So 2 scenes, and they were both epic. 2 scenes split up. Actually, 3. I forgot Sabo, and we saw Sabo, and we still don't know who Shirahoshi was talking to either. Actually, how big is Shirahoshi's hands? Because that was a really small figure on her. Let me see. Can't really tell. Whoever she was talking to had to be pretty small, actually. Because the way, if I'm getting a good size depth there, her hands look like they could, whoever was standing on it could not be a regular height. Because they would, they'd, what do you call it? I think they would be looked a lot, would have looked a lot bigger than what it looked like when whoever Shirahoshi was holding. So, yeah, that's something there. Also, I wonder how much Imsama does Imsama listen in a lot. Actually, too, one other thing. When they show, I forgot to mention here too. When Cobra brings up Queen Lily in his initial setup to this question with the Gorosei, he it shows a silhouette of her, and she resembles Vivi a lot, quite a bit there. The silhouette looks like her, but she has no. He shadows in her face. We see her hair and a small crown, a regular crown, with some guards behind her. Actually, that's right too. That thing else I want to bring up because after I read this, I was watching the episode where she showed up. Eames showed up the first time, and alongside like Blackbeard and was it Luffy too? She was looking at a picture of these pictures of characters. She had Vivi's picture there. Now we can probably guess why. Uh, yeah, Vivi looks like she's a spitting image of her, possibly. Maybe if she is the. Also, I'm wondering if Oda has an angle here where he might be going for the uh might be going for a pharaoh, ancient Egyptian god or something like that, because the Nefertiti is in reference to what was that? One of the pharaohs, and the whole Alabasta thing is like ancient Egypt or Egypt with ancient ruins, like it is today. They went down. The crocodile took Cobra down to the um, some ruins in this city because he wanted to find Pluton there, and there was some poneglyph there that Robin was reading. So I'll be interested to see if that's the what is that over there? It's just keyboard. Oh, it's just my keyboard there. The angle Oda might be going for. Also, of note there too. It's funny that they. I just thought because we're bringing up the because the with the angle of the the ancient kingdom or Alabasta being an ancient kingdom. I wonder if there's any correlation with any of that stuff. Like, if that kingdom, the old ruins we saw were more prosperous stuff that were not ruined. Were they ruined for as long a time in One Piece world as they are to us? Like, so the main pyramids are around 5,000. Oh yeah, so Nefertiti. Hey, watch out. Nefertiti was a female, a woman who ruled. First great wives of Ramesses. Okay. So Nefertiti is Ramesses. When was she born? Uh, about she died in 1255 BC. Ramesses II. Hello, Pinky. I look at the camera. Yeah. So, geez, I think I'm gonna end the stream here. Re-upload this as a video too. Minor edits. And yeah. Thanks for watching, and holy shit, Oda, you really know how to get us some good stuff during an interim of our already great arc. Like, we haven't seen anything of this is the 5th chapter now. We have not seen anything going on in Egghead. We saw a little bit at the beginning, I think 1079, where we saw York's plan to the cause the chaos there by when she was talking to the Seraphims. Yeah. There we go. Yeah, thanks for watching.